soul. Jingle bells will be ringing, season greetings fills the air. Jingle bells will be ringing, season greetings fills the air. And old Santa Claus is spreading Christmas presents everywhere. I'd love to spend this Christmas sitting by the fire with you. I'd love to spend this Christmas, baby, sitting by the fire with you. Drinking eggnog with Hennessy in it. Just
it's At the Races with Steve Byk on Sirius XM Radio.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions and offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets. $200 deposit match with promo Steve200. Visit NairaBets.com for details.
Horses power Virginia's economy, creating over 38,000 good, fulfilling jobs every year. Think about the farmers, the farriers, the feeders, the athletes, trainers, drivers, and jockeys, caretakers and landscapers, investors and interns, veterinarians, restaurant owners, restaurant workers, tour guides, trail guides, equine therapists, and so many more. Now that's horsepower. Virginia's economy wins with horses.
Racing fans, what's the present you open the day after Christmas? The Great Race Place, of course. Santa Anita Park will open for live racing on Friday, December 26th. Along with world-class racing, we will have world-class events and promotions as well, like a wonderful craft beer festival opening weekend, December 26th through the 28th. We also will have great family entertainment opening weekend with our Winter Family Fun Zone in the infield. And of course, opening day brings a fan favorite giveaway, the Santa Anita Park wall calendar for all fans in attendance while supplies last. And don't forget our great contests like the Show Viber contest beginning on December 26th, the $1,500 opening day handicapping contest with a $5,000 bonus, and the Pick'em contest starting on December 27th. Opening day admission is $20 online for just $10, and first reward members pay just $5. Get all the details at santanita.com. Welcome back to the Great Race Place on opening day, Friday, December 26th.
The Pennsylvania breeding program is the best program in the country. The Stallion Awards, the owner bonuses, also the restricted races and the stakes races for Pennsylvania breds. This year, 8 breeders are on track to earn over $200,000 in breeders' awards, and 2 could hit the $1 million mark. We have the best program in the country. Take advantage of the fantastic program that we have. Learn more at pabred.com.
Nothing compares to a horse. They inspire greatness, command respect. Because Virginia's horse industry isn't just racing and farming. It's built on the skills, labors, and passions of dedicated people working in every industry throughout our state. Horses fuel the economy, create jobs, support thousands of families, and even make dreams come true. Virginia's economy wins with horses. Find out more at virginiahorseracing.com.
Sirius XM Sports presents At the Races with Steve Byk. Horse racing, handicapping, interviews. This is At the Races with Steve Byk.
From sunny Oklahoma City, I can say that officially for the first time. It is absolutely gorgeous, and anybody, including one of the security people I met this morning, that was looking forward to maybe a little snow for Christmas in Oklahoma. Right now, you're getting spring-like weather the next several days, as it turns out. So I'm also somewhat amused because when I saw CJ Milkowski last week at Arizona, he said, "Did you take a coat?" And I always do. I always have a security coat on this trip, because when you get here, you don't know what you're going to get. It's going to, the card is Saturday night, Springboard Mile, of course, but it's supposed to be in the 60s and gorgeous on Saturday. So, probably get down by post time at, in the 10 o'clock range. But it'll get down probably into the 30s, but it is really nice. And that's a departure from from recent visits here. Sirius 162 XM 207 Sports Zone 999. You're listening to Sirius XM online and at our website, stevebyk.com. I'm going to start to zero in on the weekend with a couple of things to look back at, and in fact, he's at Oaklawn. As far as I know, Ray Ashford is at Oaklawn. He's got two in. He's got two in on Saturday evening, and of course he won. He won the Springboard. What is it? 3 years ago? 2 or 3 years ago. Wild Atlantic, right? As it happens, though, if you didn't see it on, on Sunday, he and Tom Durant unveiled a rocket ship, Decode, on the card Sunday at Oaklawn, 4th, I think it was the 4th. And it's an interesting story. So in addition to wanting to talk to Ray about his stake runners on Saturday, which include I'm a Midnight Special in the You See It, and Alisal in the Toby Keith, we're going to talk about Decode. And this Tom Durant bred this one, last crop of Spitestown, and went through the ring and was a $775,000 buyback. So it's not as if Durant didn't, they knew they had something good. So I want to get the story. It was flashy, and on winning off by I think eight lengths with Christian Torres, and didn't really think, it was obvious that it was a nice effort. And then when I went back and looked at the figs for the weekend, for the opening weekend at Oaklawn, 99 buyer. Now this is 6 furlongs, and they are hinting about a try in the Southwest, which, it's a little bit to ask, make that stretch off this win. But I mean, he won gear down and also, out from the 11 hole. And I mean, honestly, it didn't look like he ever took a deep breath. It was very, really impressive. So we'll talk to Ray Ashford. Want to get a little, regional flavor, right? We will go to New Orleans for the Harrow break at 9:45 Eastern, 8:45 Central. Magoe, you can't have a big Saturday and not talk to Magoe on Thursday, right? They go together. Frank Magoe. And we'll look at this card. It's a funny, it's actually an interesting sequence at Fairgrounds, because you've got the series of, and I'm just rifling through papers, reaching for the card. The stake sequence comes late, and we will talk when we talk to Jeff Franklin. I think I picked a nice trio of races for the Win Using Thorograph conclave. The 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th at Fairgrounds are the stakes events. The Tenacious, the Diliberto Memorial, and then the 2-year-old features that kick off, as Gary Palmisano told you, the road to the Fairgrounds Oaks and the Louisiana Derby. So the Untappable as the 10th, and we sent you the sheets for the Gun Runner, which goes as the 11th. There's a maiden special that closes the card, 12-race card. But then earlier on the card, the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, all maiden races. And we got a nice variety. We got them long on the turf, and we got them short on the dirt. So I'm anxious to see if there's any insights, not just in the stakes, of course, but in the maiden ranks as well. And there are some notable pedigrees to touch on. And there's, I might even mention this now. In that 3rd race, in the 3rd race, Dan Simpson has got Samsalot. This is a Chancelot colt out of a Nyquist mare. And what's interesting, when you do your pedigree work, those of you that, in fact, particularly if you have sheets, first opportunity that you get to look at Chancelot's stats, because of his racing career and the association with Navarro, I think there's this perception that that he's not going to amount to much as a sire. In fact, the early stats are really interesting, and he is getting winners. He's winning at 17%, and he's getting early winners. And one of the notable elements is 2 for 9 with grass runners. And of course, he himself, Chancelot, was by Shanghai Bobby. There's some. Yesterday, I invoked, when we were talking to Sid, I invoked Lauren Stitch. And Lauren, of course, famously crafted the term hidden turf sire. And I might even go out on a limb and suggest that it was more than ready, may have been the first reference that I remember anyway, as being a hidden turf sire. But Lauren, crafted the theory that there's stallions that hit the marketplace with a certain expectation of where the runners are going to be successful, and hidden within that expectation and on their page, there's turf potential. So the first thing that caught my eye when I looked this horse up, the Samsalot, frankly, the first thing I sort of said to myself is, wow, he's doing better than I thought he was doing, with his early runners. But keep an eye, and this is a dirt race, so it's not specific to this race, but 2 for 9 so far with his turf runners. So keep an eye out for that. That's that 3rd. We'll get some hints from work tab from Frank. There's Cherie's all over this card, by the way. Cherie's got runners everywhere. There's Philly. In fact, the Philly race that goes as the fourth. She's got the $550,000 Island Flower, the Three Chimneys Bred, and is a Belladonna runner with Twin Brook involved. And she's got White Smoke, another Belladonna with Twin Brook. And this one, a $500,000 purchase, and has got some zippy works. In addition to a nice pedigree. May want to go longer than this. 6-1, White Smoke. And there's some horses that have run. In fact, Ravelli's got a Bo Liam Quick Kiss, who's 3-1. There's a lot in here. There's some older maidens too going long on the turf. That'll be in the fifth. Eddie Keneally's got an 8-1 shot. It seems like a big overlay to me. An Omaha Beach filly that absolutely jumped up trying grass in the second start. Classy Beach, the 5, 8-1. And happens to be a half to Bad Beat Brian. So there's some hints. There's some hints there. Question is going to be, this one is stretching out to 1 mile and 16th. There's a lot to beat. There's a lot to enjoy on this card. Donna Meyer and Team Foley, they've got Trouble Calling coming back from the Churchill try. Troubleshooting's sibling. I thought Dallas Stewart in the 6th had an interesting horse, and Tappett's Gunner. This is a Mandy Pope. Homebred, 8-1 on the outside. Yeah, there's a lot to like about this card. So looking forward to our first conversation with Frank. Dale Day is going to be here in person after last night's action. I think we have talked about it with Dale, but the night racing, and then having to do, Dale does the publicity too, which is not unusual. In fact, kind of the model for what Nick Tamaro's doing now at Sam Houston. But boy, you get done fairly late in the evening and you turn around. He's coming in, he's not coming in just to see me and talk with us, but he's got another radio spot today, and things are building up to closing weekend and Saturday's card. So Dale will be here. Hour 3, check in with Dave Hill. We'll see how Dave's going to approach the weekend. Week, what is it, 16? We got 3 regular season weeks left, right? 16, 17, 18. And Jeff Franklin, of course, when using Thorograph, we gave you the Springboard Mile. And if you were listening to Seth just now, the New York bred is a major player in here for sure. Arctic Beast, 3 for 3. This is sort of like the horse we talked about with Pat Devereaux, his filly, Little Miss Curlin. This is one of the least known undefeated horses in the country. 3 for 3 to start the career. And granted, Saratoga State Bred win, and then the 2 stakes at the Flakes. So, but there's others. Asmussen's got Time for Music. Looks to me the obvious contender. And yesterday when I did the rundown of the field, C.R. Trout's horse, the upstart gelding, Royal American, he's a player in here. He might be this year's Wild Atlantic Storm. All right. Joe Ofelter's got a Code West that Brian Hawk bred that could be any kind. 1 easy against state breds. Who knows what that horse is? Western Man. Richard Aramia Jr. So looking forward to that conversation with Dale, and then later with Jeff Franklin. In addition to the Springboard Mile, we gave you the Gun Runner and we gave you the Fort Lauderdale. Where is it? I got to look because they all start to blend together at a certain point, right? Yeah, I think we did the Fort Lauderdale. Yes, we did the Gulfstream 11. All right, so long on the turf and a couple of 2-year-old dirt affairs. All right, Jim Corns will be here. We'll get Jim in. We'll do a Succeed Challenge. All right, and give away 75-day trial of Succeed, and I haven't heard from him yet, but I want to get Duke on. Duke is going to do, for Breeders' Cup. Duke introduced, the service that he's doing, where he's handicapping and offering opinions and approaches. He's going to do a Christmas Day seminar for opening day at Santa Anita. So I want Duke happy to give Duke a boost. And if it doesn't happen today, I'll get him Monday before we wrap up, so that way actually we'll even have the fields. How about Baffert yesterday? I'm going to work them. I'm going to see how they're doing, and then I'll decide. Bob. They're drawing the races in 48 hours. What do you? Okay, I didn't press him. He'll end up with 8 on the card. If you haven't looked at the nominee, he could run 4 in that Malibu very easily. So we'll see. He made me laugh. Yesterday after the show, Gus had looked at the Tampa. The second half of that Tampa card. And Seth went over 2 early on the card, but then Gus fashioned for small money $45 pick 5 ticket that hit for $450, and the pick 4 came back with a little under $80. So if you played both, basically the pick 4 paid for everything you put up. And you got 10-1, and you know what was amazing about that sequence? It was very havable, and the pick 5 yesterday at Tampa, it must have paid 4 times the parlay, 3.5, 4 times the parlay. You had 2 favorites, including a 4-5, and then you had 3 second choices, and the thing paid crazy. Yeah, you had winners. Winners paid $6.60, $7, $8.40, $3.60, and $6.60, and it came back $454.70. So thanks to Gus. Good job, Gus. And he loves Tampa. Gus, that's his winter home, more or less. Turfway too, I should slip in. Turfway was funny last night, if you were watching. You had a big price winner early, paid $49, and then it was very formful all the way to the nightcap when you had a $36 winner. Yeah, it was kind of a funny it was a funny day. You had $8, $4, $3, $11, $9, $7, $9, $7. But on either end, so just enough to boost the 2 big multi-sequences, actually. I know the early pick 5 paid $1,800. I'm not sure what the late actually paid. And they'll be at it again tonight with another. The cards are, really competitive and the field's deep. Today, as it happens, the 8th race tonight goes off at 9:25 Eastern at Turfway, and no balls. turns up for Ravelli. 2-1. Coming out of the win in the Kennedy Road. So, very cool. It's funny. No Balls had kind of an weird year last year. And very abbreviated. This will be his 9th start of the year, actually, and he's actually done all right this year. He's never really gotten back to, his Breeders' Cup win level. But he's a 6-year-old now. But he has had a complete year for sure. Won the Kennedy Road, was second in the Arctic behind None Hudson. Allowance win at Churchill. Resme Red beat him at Turfway early in the year in the Big Daddy. But he's won twice, got 3 seconds, and he's made just under 300,000. So he's approaching if he can earn 83,000 tonight. What's the purse? The purse is 106,000. So he can't. Even if he wins, he's not going to hit 2 million, but he's knocking on the door, and he'll be around. He'll be around as a 7-year-old. Clearly, he's got nowhere else to go. So No Balls tonight at Florence. All right, good card again. Starting to gear up for Oaklawn tomorrow too. I'm going to keep going after that. I want that the $3 late pick 3, the Get Out. I love the concept, so we'll attack that for tomorrow. The other, that's that. Yeah, the rest of this we can feather in as the morning unfolds. All right, let me, Brian. Let me give you Ray, because I don't know, because you have not yet had the pleasure, and we can also catch up on how Tristan's doing too. Tristan Ashford. But first order of business is finding out more about Decode. And there was a good murmur about it for sure. I mean, people that saw it and then got up as it got some publicity. So we'll find out and how. I want to hear about basically buying the horse back at Timonium. 775,000. So, and listen, Tom Durant's. In fact, I saw yesterday. Was it at Tampa? I think Durant. There was a horse that Durant bred that won at Tampa yesterday. As it happens, you see his name plenty on breeding lines. But this is out of a twirling candy mare. Dos Vinos, and Ray Ashford joins us. Ray, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Steve. How are you?
I'm good, and boy, you got everybody excited. I'm sure you and Tom Durant are most excited. Decode on Sunday.
We are excited.
Hey, first of all, before we talk about getting him ready and what lays ahead and all that. I mean, obviously, you knew that this was a running son of a gun. I mean, for him to RNA at 775,000 says a lot.
Yeah. He, they send me a picture of the colt. Way back before when they were getting him ready to go to the sale, and I told Jack Bruner and Mr. Durant, I said, I don't think we ought to sell this one. You can't buy a horse like this. I said, you guys, I said, he's beautiful. I said, let's keep this one. And anyway, I don't think that had anything to do with it, but a couple of things happened. the sale got a little bit messed up there in Maryland.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and they canceled the breed show, so that was good for me because he didn't, they didn't breed him, and then unfortunately also the mare died.
Ah.
And she has they have an orphan, not this time, but that's sad for that part. But after that happened, it kind of happened around the same time, and then he kind of decided, he kind of had it already in his mind they weren't going to sell him.
Well, that and I'm just looking at the dam now. She herself was a 3-time winner in 6 starts. There's also an audible. There's an audible yearling that's going to be a 2-year-old next 2 weeks. And you mentioned they named that's a filly, and they named the Not This Time. So obviously they're going to keep, under those circumstances, to replace those Venos, and knowing that Dakota is a talent. Sweet Angie, she's already got a name.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's good. I like it.
Well, give us a little bit about the preparations, to get them ready, and you certainly running at Oaklawn. It's like running in a stake race for in a maiden race.
Yeah. There's no easy ones here, that's for sure. Or anywhere, there's no easy races. But when you get here, it's the bar's raised a little bit because such nice horses come for the money. And the horse worked good every time we worked him. And I told Jack and Tom both. I said I told him the Gray Colt's way the best one. I said he none of them can keep up with him. He outworked everything we've worked him with. And we knew he was pretty nice, but he showed us. I think a little. I was pleasantly surprised that he ran. I knew he was going to run well, but I didn't know he was going to run quite that good.
I said earlier when I mentioned that you were going to join us. For those that haven't seen the replay, pull up a replay. There's also, I think FanDuel with their coverage. I think they have the whole race up as well on their stream. It really did not look like he took a deep breath, and Christian Torres rode him exactly how you'd want to ride a horse like this in a debut.
Yeah. He came over. I told his agent Cody Autry. I said, "Hey, I think we got a pretty nice colt." I said, "Let's work them and get to see what the jock said." So anyway, he and Ramon Vasquez coming. We worked too. We worked him and Torch, and they came back on him. And Ramon walked in the barn first. He said, "Mine's real nice, but he's not close to that gray one." And then later that day, Cody called me about 12:30, and he was kidding around. He said, "I usually don't call trainers around nap time, but," he said, "don't let that gray one get too far away." He said, my jock hasn't said a whole lot about workers, but he can't stop talking about this one." So we were, everybody was pretty excited. We've been excited for a while, but when, of course, when you run and do what he did, then you really get excited.
The horse is Decode, D with an apostrophe, CODE, and I'm coming to you from Remington, and we'll talk about your runners Saturday night in the stakes, but it looks like he came to you fairly late in the summer, and you had him here at Remington for, with the string for, 2.5 months or so. Yeah,
we were getting him ready there at Remington the whole time, and with the intent to run here like we did, and we had a couple other ones that we think are pretty good, pretty nice too. But we moved over here early to pretty close right after they let horses on the grounds. We moved the stable over and to get them all a couple works over the track and get ready for the meet. So far I feel like we did everything in the right direction.
And you know what's interesting? For a horse that's this fast and a 99 buyer in the debut, and did it without breaking a sweat. In these works, the works are fast, Ray, but there's no bullets, so he's not a runoff by any means. He's not. It feels like he's a horse that does what he's asked.
Yeah, he does. I try to. We try to keep him head and head and stuff, and teach him a little bit when he's working. But he's real smart. He does what you ask him, just like you said. I mean, he doesn't blast away from the company or anything. He just does it pretty easy. He just cruises around there and does his thing.
This is exciting, and there's a good time for this horse to come around, Ray, because you're only 12 wins away from your 1,000th, so that's in the offing. And I mean, I hate asking these kinds of questions. At this point in his career, better than Wild Atlantic Storm?
I guess I'm going to have to say yes, because Wild Atlantic Storm, we liked that horse from the get-go too, and we ran him in a 5/8 race on the grass, just to kind of a schooling race per se, and then we ran him up at Iowa, and he didn't run real fast the first time when he broke his maiden. But Alex Berger rode the horse, and he told me that day, he said if he would have laid down and run, he would have won by way farther than he did. But he was kind of green, had the light, had the lights, and he was kind of pricking his ears and stuff. But I'm gonna have to say he probably is, because he ran such a huge number. I mean, he ain't got the bankroll that the Red Horses has, but he's going to get there, I think. Well,
as it happens, we should mention. I mean, Wild Atlantic's still running. You got him there at Oaklawn with you, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got him here. We've been fighting a quarter crack on a hind foot. There's been a little issue, and about the only thing going on with him. But he's here, and he's doing. We're working on the foot, but he's doing well.
And he had a good summer at Prairie.
Yes, sir. Yeah, my youngest son Logan was up there with him and did a good job for me. He had mine and Tristan's horses up there, so he had the horse. The horse did good up there all summer.
Well, and Ray Ashford telling you, everybody, that the way to avoid having issues with help is to just raise your own.
Right, exactly. That does help. It does help.
How old is Logan?
He's turned 20 yesterday.
Oh, wow. That's great. Well, and Tristan, Tristan's doing great. He's had, now he's got, a full calendar under his belt. And I was going to ask you about him, and I didn't even know about Logan. Are there any more? Are there any yearlings?
I have a daughter in the middle, and she's just graduated from college, and she's going to be a school teacher. She's got a job, and she's going to start on after the Christmas break. She's got her a job.
Where's she dropping roots?
I lost you for a second.
Where's she going to teach?
At Midwest City, there in Oklahoma. So she's a deaf education teacher. So she's just getting started, but she's pretty excited.
Oh, that's tremendous. Best of luck to her. My wife's a teacher. Ray Ashford with us. We're talking about the code, and the early speculation was that you'd look to the Southwest with him, and the stretch out that's a little bit of a challenge. I mean, stakes company, second start, debut.
Yeah, it's going to be. We're gonna train the horse up to it and see if we feel like he's up to the task. I mean, we got to find out. So we're gonna. I guess we'll just swing the bat at the big boys and see what happens. But we took him to the track this morning. He bounced off the racetrack, was really full of himself this morning. So that's what kind of the plan right now.
Well, it's exciting, and for those that haven't seen Decode, I recommend you pull it up and you watch this powerhouse debut, and we'll look forward to the Southwest. And Tom Durant's had his share of horses, but this kind of feels of good horses. This feels like next level.
That's what he said. He said he's had a lot of good horses. We don't know if he's had one this good. So hopefully he's excited. So that's it's good to have people like him get excited in our game. So we're all excited.
Yeah, I love it. And of course, among some of the horses gosh, you go back Touch Tone and Tejano Twist, not recent years, and
so you know what's good? Sing Baby Sing was a pretty good horse.
Sing Baby Sing.
Yeah.
Silver Dust.
I think Silver Dust. That's what I was going to say, Silver Dust. So he puts a lot into horse racing. So we're gonna hopefully we got some good luck and can get to the ultimate goal for him. So because that's of course that's what we all dream of that, of course. So that's where we're gonna go. Hopefully we get to go.
Well, take it one step at a time, and you've proven over the years too. I mean, you know what to do with a good horse. And speaking of some good horses, look ahead to you coming here Saturday night? We're going to see you.
No, you know what? I'm gonna let Tristan run them. I was going to, and then we got 4 horses in here on Saturday, and Tristan has a horse in his first one at Oakland is in the last race and I also have a horse in the same race, so we got 4 in.
Wow.
So I'm gonna stay here and run those 4, and he's gonna run the 3 there at Remington.
Well, in the You See It, I'm a midnight special, and Alice Sal in the Toby Keith.
Yep. I'm a midnight special, the half to Wild Atlantic Storm. So hopefully we can do some good in that race. And then the other filly's doing well too. So I think we're gonna. I hope that the McPeak filly stays at the fair. She's in at the fairgrounds in the Untappable, I think. So
I saw that. Yeah. Because if that one's name is Miss Call. She's a Silver State filly. Yeah, she looks like a handful.
Yeah, she's going to be a handful. I hope they stay at the fairgrounds. So I'm thinking they probably maybe will. It's 100, and I think it's got some points, and so that might be.
It does.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that I'm just guessing, but I think hopefully they stay. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, that horse of Michael Baylor's is the Samantha Code is okay as well. Brian Hawk's horse. Yeah, 2 for 2. Going. So I guess we'll see if she can stretch out 5.5 both times. So definitely a nice filly. Well, and midnight special, and Mr. Jorgensen, the homebred of his, and she fits. She's a fit in there.
I think so. The other day, when the prep race, she ran pretty good. That was only her second out at the meet. So we've had a couple, a little bit of trouble getting in the right spots, but she's her third race back. I think she's going to move forward and make I don't know if I can beat the outside filly, but I think we're going to make a good race out of it. Well, and should also mention, Ray, I mean, I would, excited about the big horse, Decode, but I don't know if you've looked at your numbers. This is your best year of your career, actually. It is. We've built it up. We got a lot better horses, and which obviously helps. And we're doing a whole lot different. We just got some little better horses to train. That'll solve a lot of issues. It does help. That does help. We got a little running joke about changing your feed program. I think that it's what you throw it in there too is what really helps. It's funny. It depends whose nose is in the bucket. Yeah. If you start throwing it in some Uncle Mo's and Spice Towns and better animals, it helps things. Well, clearly really an exciting, more than a prospect now as a maiden winner and pointing to the Southwest. Ray, keep them all healthy and happy. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and get lucky this weekend. All right. Thank you. Thanks for the call. Not at all. Ray Ashford, everybody, and Decode. It's exciting. And for somebody like Tom Durant and for Ray, and he's having his best year, with just kind of rank and file Prairie Meadows and Remington, and now he's over at Oaklawn for the winter, and and honestly, some of the owners gave horses to Tristan, so some actually kind of siphoned off, and yet here he is.
And here will be Frank McGoey in a matter of seconds. Oh, Frank's giving me an early heads up. Brian, do you need, or I'll send to you? All right, here you go. Here's the one and only McGoey. You do have it. All right, good. Well, then conjure up the one and only Frank McGoey. What am I being? Jockey Club? Okay, it's nothing earth-shattering. I want to go back and that Wild Atlantic Storm. So it would have been 3 years ago that he won the. It would have been. Yeah, the 22 Springboard that he won. 22, 23, 24. Last year was Lonnie Briley with Coal Battle. And in between, got to think about that for a second. Frank McGoey, Merry Christmas.
Same to you, Steve. How are you?
Me? Who could be better than me?
Are you in Remington today?
I am in Remington. I am.
Wow. You get around, brother.
Well, I'm the wind whistling across the plain.
That's what keeps the marriage together.
You know what? I talked to her this morning, and she's ready for me to come home, and she wanted to know if I had started to miss her yet, and I confirmed yes. Yes, honey. So
mine likes me at home, but she don't want me in the same room. She said, stay in your office. I said, okay. I don't have any problem with that. I got enough TVs in there. I got 4 TVs. I can find something to do. So, but when I'm away, she's like, when you coming home?
Exactly.
We're never going to figure him out, Steve. It's tougher than handicapping a 2-year-old filly race. Figuring out why.
Well, the card Saturday, I couldn't tackle this without you, and I do, and 4 state races and 8 maiden races. Yep.
And
I don't want to just focus on the stakes, but let's first of all look at the 2-year-old stakes first and foremost, and see who may have advanced.
They came up really competitive. Yeah.
Yep.
They're good races. Let me find them here. I hear this was originally supposed to be a 10-race card, Steve, but Scott kept getting so many good entries that he split a couple of the maiden races.
Well, he split the sprint, the third, and was it the third and the 6th and the 7th, third, the 6th, 5th? Anyway, we'll get to them.
We'll blow
through the third and the 6th ended up splitting.
Gotcha. Where you want to start with the untappable and the 10th?
Start with the untappable. Yeah, let's do the 2-2-year-olds. Then we'll do the maiden races, and the 2 older races are actually interesting. But start with this untappable.
This race came up really competitive, I think. I wound up settling. I did some advanced work on it. I could see any of 5 possibly winning. I think Love Your Neighbor, the 1, will improve with a little more distance, and that horse had a solid race over the track on December 4th. Dallas's horse, Have Faith. I watched those replays. That horse, he looked like he'll appreciate more ground. She'd get a good trip with Paco down there. Hit Parade was good in his last start, and he has been working here. I've seen his last couple of works, or her last couple of works. She's doing well. And Pashmina, towards the outside, the 7th, Steve, that was a really impressive victory. We'll have to step it up a little bit, but this is that time of year, And then McPeak's got Miss Call, another one. I mean, this is an extremely good race. I could see any one of those 5 winning.
I can't I can't argue. We're going to do, as it happens, we're going to do the Gun Runner as the one of the Thoroughgraph races later with Jeff Franklin. But from a FIG standpoint, Hit Parade, that allowance win was a big move forward. for the Street Sense filly. This is a Gary and Mary West homebred, and I got her down to a 9 on Thorograph. You mentioned McPeak, and he is cross-entered at Remington, but the expectation is that she's going to run there out of her own stall with points on the line.
My only question mark with Hit Parade was that Miss Call came back out of that same race that Hit Parade won and ran a slower number on my stuff.
Well, I see it.
Did she regress the Thorograph, Miss Call?
Miss Call, she backed up off she ran an 8 at Churchill on Halloween.
Right.
Behind Hit Parade.
And then what did she come back in the next start on November 23rd?
You know what? I didn't write it down on my page, but she absolutely regressed a little.
Yeah. That's why I thought maybe, Hit Parade, didn't have to be the horse to beat in this spot. I thought it could be a little more wide open.
Well, I mean,
if you're looking, nothing spectacular, but it's trained solid.
What Pashmina to me is probably the right price, right? At 5-1.
I got it. Yeah. I mean, Brad's going to be over that a little bit. And yeah, Pashmina may drift up a little bit, but I'm telling you, that was a visually impressive win last time here. I don't know if you've seen it, but she just did what she pleased with those horses. And she's been going good in the morning.
That was a clever. I love that, debuting on the grass and debuted at a mile on the grass, and then moved over to the dirt.
Trip.
Yep.
Right. Had a horrible trip that day at Keeneland. Correct.
She also got first. There's one thing. There's one thing to note in here. She comes off Lasix in this spot.
Yep, you're right about that. Yep.
So
she'll have to show if she can do it. That's always a question mark.
Exactly. And you started with Love Your Neighbor, Mike Stidham, whose horses are running from the bell at this meet.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Now she, listen, she finished up good in that race on December 4th and going to get a great trip. And I tell you what, I've really been impressed with the way Concepcion's riding here. And, he's a rider, Steve, here, that he's not going to take the extra money like Paco and Ortiz. So, I mean, I've really been trying to find my spots to bet against those two because they're always overbet and you're going to get some value, and he's one you can really count on.
I like it. And of course, Lopez, Lopez has been winning, handful of races. That filly of the Vacoma filly of Dallas Stewart's, what a nice purchase this looks like. 35,000 at OBS April and has run 3 straight 11s. That horse was dangled for 30,000 in the debut and romped. And that's a horse that doesn't need a lead. This looks like a tractable type.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That 7/8 race, the last race was good for sure. I watched that replay the other morning. Yep.
Well,
good
a
race,
competitive group in here.
We'll see who moves forward. That'll be your winner, and we'll keep progressing.
Exactly. All right. Then the boys take over.
This is another good race, but to me, this one came down to just a couple of Melmont I thought like the most likely winners. That would be McPeak's horse, Liberty National, and to the outside, Mr. Punch for Cox. I thought that was extremely impressive, that race that Mr. Punch. I mean, he just kind of rebroke at the top of the stretch that day. That was crazy good. Did you see that one?
I have not. That one I've got to go back and that was Breeders' Cup weekend, right? Or right after Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, that's right. You were out of town.
Yeah, lost in translation.
It's worth watching. Worth watching for sure. Impressive. And that was his first time around 2 turns.
And that's another horse that debuted on the grass, Kentucky Downs, and then moved to the dirt. And not only did he move to the dirt, this was one of those maiden 100,000 races, and this was a horse that Joe Novogratz went and hammered for 350. So they dangled this horse kind of crazy and ran an 8 on Thorograph.
Yeah, maybe surprising, but listen, I mean, the fact that Brad had him over at Payson tells you he probably wanted to keep an eye on him. I think he's got a lot of his good stock over there.
I want to ask you about, you've only had a chance to see him maybe once. He's only worked once at Fairgrounds. Mike Maker, who's kind of hitting on a lot of cylinders. The Ohio bred Crown the Buckeye.
Yeah,
6
so
and
I
a
haven't
5.
seen this one. Right, I haven't seen this one. He's got 2 works here. He worked on the 9th and the 16th, and I didn't see either of those. But yeah, interesting horse coming in. Looks like a lot of speed. Trying to stretch out. This is, I got to figure this is the toughest punch he's faced. Went off at 5 cents on the dollar last time in the best of Ohio. And listen, he's going to have some pace in this race. Chip Honcho is going to show speed for sure towards the inside. That horse is training good for Steve. Paco is going to be going out of there, I would think. You should have a lively pace in this race. That's kind of like why I like my top selection is going to be Liberty National. Look like really improved when they stretch right around 2 turns, and the trip that Brian's going to get in there is going to be just ideal for him.
Well, so that was a horse. I get it. I get it. Maxfield out of a Awesome Again mare, Rock Ridge bred, $525,000 Keeneland yearling, and that win at Churchill, the maiden breaker, got down to a 10th Thurgraph, and
worked good here too on December 13th.
Yeah,
went out real strong that day.
I get it. The only other, and you mentioned Mr. Punch. We talked about Crown the Buckeye. McPeak's other horse is okay. It feels like a horse that's going to win something along the way.
The Very Connected?
Very Connected.
Yeah, so that's the one that Liberty National will work with, and Liberty National got the best up in that day by about a length at the wire, and then went out better too that day. Listen, he's what his horse is going to be. If they have enough pace, he's going to come running. But Fairgrounds recent years, Steve, hasn't really favored these deep closers. Most of the races are more positional and forward. But yeah, I mean, he'll come running. But when they work together on the 13th, Liberty National was clearly better to me.
The Gun Runner goes as the 11th. Let's transition into the maiden races. That includes the nightcap. So those of you that are going to dig in and try to make it through to the back end, because there's no. It's so frustrating. There is not an all stakes pick 4, and I just don't understand why they don't take advantage of that, because everybody loves the stake races. Anyway,
yeah, they do that. They have done that in the past too. I wonder why they're not.
Yeah, I'm
curious.
Now I did print this. I did print this early, but
have you done the work on this one?
Well, I sort of. I basically looked at all the pedigrees in all of the maiden races, and what was funny about this race, I mean, these are horses. There's quite a few in this group that have already run, so you got a little bit more to go on. And frankly, the two 8-to-1 prices, Market Runner from Amos and Whit Beckman Ocelli, I thought those two, from a fig standpoint, that they were the place to start.
5 and 11 were my 2 in here. Market Runner and Liberty Valance would be my
Liberty
top
Valance.
selections. Yeah.
The man who picked Liberty Valance.
Underneath, I thought the first or 2, 6, and 7 would be underneath to maybe fill out exactas and tries. But I'm with you. I think the 5 is going to run a really big race. And that's a race. If your listeners haven't watched that race, you should go watch that race, because that's much better than it looks on paper.
Well, and had some, for starters, Amos debuted Market Runner at 1 1/16 at Churchill. So was sending him 2 turns right off the get-go. And he had some trouble early.
Was just getting going late. Yeah, had a rough trip. He was running sneaky good, very sneaky good.
And we should mention then, if you're going to use that Liberty National in the Gun Runner, people should be very aware into this race. Market Runner comes out of that race, as does Maximum Effort, the Asmussen Winchell $600,000 purchase, who's run 2 okay races to start the career.
Right. Very solid. Very solid. And Liberty Valance has been training with a horse called Carson Street and Hey Everybody. And both of those horses have already won at this meet.
Well,
So
there you
keeping
go.
good company in the mornings.
I love that. In fact, Carson Street was in the Mesquite race that was behind Liberty Valance and then came back to win.
Correct. I'm telling you, right? Right. 5s and 11s for me here, Bubba.
5-11 in the nightcap for Magoe. Let's go to the third race, and I've got so many pedigree notes and stake-winning mares and some other interesting tidbits. The third, we got the boys going.
We'll get to it.
Three quarters.
This is one of the ones where Brad's got one coming in. Yeah, from Payson, right? The one that Mike made the favorite.
Coronado.
Right. So, well, I obviously haven't seen him. But I imagine he wouldn't be coming over here if he didn't think he could win. So we'll have to see what the toe board looks like and how he looks on the track. I mean, you got a lot of questions here. The ones that are training here, Golden Tempos look good for Cherie. And it's got some good works on the KTA site, too. Of the local ones, I think he's definitely the one to beat. And, like I said, I don't know about Coronado. The rest of them haven't done some locally that I've seen, haven't done enough to make me think they could beat Golden Tempo.
Well, here's a couple of notes. Let's go to the outside. 10-1 on Dallas Stewart, the Bobby Flay bred Hot Days Ahead. This was a $250,000 purchase, some money out of Amagansett. This would be a half to as a result, and showed a little bit
that
of
replay.
Right?
Yeah. He got totally wiped out at the start.
Yeah.
And then looked really green early. But kind of figured it out late and ran on a little bit. But I think it's going to, he'd have to step way forward, in my opinion. And, capable, but I think he'd have to step up his game for sure.
Move in from there. I started when I said you were going to be with us, I talked about what I came across this morning looking at Chancelot's early results as a stallion. And, he's got the long shadow of Navarro to live down as a stallion. And so I think there's a preconceived notion that, going in that, the progeny aren't going to be much. Well, in the meantime, they happen to be winning. And the thing that really caught my eye, his first 9 runners on turf, he's won 2. So there may be, he's a son of Shanghai Bobby. There's some hints that he's okay, going to be okay as a stallion. So I don't want people to just dismiss him because of his heritage.
Right. If anybody's not familiar with Danny Simpson, Danny was Louis Roussel's assistant for years, and he's kind of taken over for Louis now that Louis is not training anymore. So, in good hands. I think he's probably going to get better with a little racing. I don't think maybe Danny's got the screws all the way tightened down. So I would think, this would be a learning experience, and they'll get started here and move on.
I want to mention Obolus, who's 5-1 for Lindsey Schultz. And that was an okay debut, actually, at Indy at the end of October.
I watched that one.
This is a turf horse, isn't it?
Yeah. Guess you could. Yeah, could be. I mean, it didn't look like the strongest group at Indiana. I think facing much better here. At least with a couple of these in the air.
I would, if you want to use my style markings, make a T with a circle around it and wait until this one shows up on grass. Stidham's got a funny horse in here.
Markings. Who do you opt in?
Yeah. What do you make of him?
He's been okay in the mornings. He's got outworked by, a little bit by some of his workmates. Another one, I think, a jumping off point, see where you are. Hadn't shown me enough that I think he's ready to crack first time out.
All right.
Of the maiden races, Steve, I'll be honest with you. I think this one, besides Golden Tempo, came up the lightest in talent, in my opinion.
So
that's why if the Cox horse coming in can run some, he's going to be a factor, I would think.
All right, turn attention to the fourth. These are fillies going 3/4, and we've got pedigree. Cherie's like a rash all over this card. This White Smoke.
Brother, I said it this morning. Literally this morning as she was working. She's probably worked 12 or 15 already today. She must not have any trouble getting up to come to the barn in the morning. My God, she's got some good-looking horses.
Well, and this may be one. This is a $500,000 Keelan Yearling and 6-1 White Smoke. If you're a believer in the way horses are named, that they might have talent, White Smoke, it's an essential quality, a gray filly, and out of a Curlin mare. Got a couple of 47 and change works, including a gate work at Keeneland mid-November that caught my eye.
That one's available on the KTA site too.
Yeah,
I watched that. Yeah, this horse clearly has talent for sure. Definitely has talent. This is a tough race. And as you mentioned, Funny Bunny is cross-entered in the stake race.
Right.
Now, if Funny Bunny runs in this spot, I think Funny Bunny will be a big factor in this spot. But I think in the stake race, in a little tough. But this race is really good. We can start from the rail. I mean, MK's most of his serious works were out of town. I know he blew out of the gate. Mike told me, I think yesterday, he needed an updated gate work. Said, look good coming out of the gate yesterday. Funny Bunny, like I said, Funny Bunny had serious trouble in both starts. And I think will really improve with Lasix and a trip that Brian's going to get here. Island Flower's been good in the mornings, the other Cherie horse. Irish Punch, the Asmussen, I haven't seen enough from that one. White Smoke has been training good with Nieves. And listen, don't think that just because Nieves is riding that he's not on a live horse. He won on one for Cherie last week and paid $100. One that really got biased, and it was our fault too, Steve, was working under the mare's name, and I didn't catch it. I wanted to kill myself.
Oof.
It was horrible. Yeah.
It was horrible.
Just named him late. Yeah. And look, then you got Quick Kiss. Quick Kiss, who's going to show a lot of speed with Ravelli. And here's another one for you. You ready? The Nietzsche horse for Actress.
Yeah.
This horse worked with Pasmina back on November 20th at 47-4. They worked dynamite together. So if you want to use Pashmina as a measuring stick, Nishi's live in here too.
How about that? And this is a Yoppin, so there's your win early action. Rob Atras, who's gotten off to a good start again this winter.
This race is loaded. Absolutely loaded.
You mentioned Irish Punch. That's a 12-1 shot, and a Team Valor homebred, and I got to check with Steve.
He was handled on December 8th. He was handled pretty good by a horse he worked with that ran at Oak Lawn last Sunday called MacTac, MACTAK.
Okay.
And I don't think that one did good that day, and handled this one pretty good in that gate work.
Well,
you need a measuring stick. There you go.
That's what sometimes that's exactly what you need to discern here. We get older maidens in the fifth, and the one I got a couple of things. Joe Sharp, obviously on the outside. Aurora Sky, that was a race that this filly ran that was good enough to win, and
she'll take a lot of beating in this spot.
Right,
a lot of beating. Training really good. Trains like she wants more ground. Yep, first race was good. All systems go. I'm not looking to try to beat her. I can tell you that.
I told everybody earlier too that the 5 here, Classy Beach from Eddie Keneally, is a half to bad beat Brian.
Oh wow. Okay. Remember that one.
FYI,
yep.
Brittany Vandenberg.
Schultz's horse, Lindy Schultz's horse, Don't Come Looking. That one's been training good. Ortiz actually worked in the last couple of works, and made a nice debut last year here. Been on the shelf since February, and I liked her that day. She ran okay that day. It's the Brenton Jones horse.
Yes,
but I think Joe's going to be very tough in this spot.
7-2, and that price probably comes down.
Can I sign up? Can I sign up for that now, Steve?
For
You want to book
7-2?
me?
By the way, you
Yeah.
mentioned Lindsay Schultz, and I'm just an interesting aside. Her horses are running this. She got off to a good start at Oaklawn, and for whatever reason, she's kind of spinning her wheels a little bit so far at Fairgrounds.
Unfortunately, I liked Baby Vino the other day, who got nailed on the wire at 30-1. She had over there.
Oh,
at Oaklawn last. Was it Sunday?
I think it was Sunday.
Got run down by a 15-1 shot late. Put everybody away on the front end and just got tagged.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, and that's
It
that's
happened.
one of the things. The way the weather. Sometimes. Not that the weather's been bad. That they had a great weekend, opening weekend at Oaklawn, but they're the horses that are working at Fairgrounds and then shipping up to Hot Springs.
We quite a few, right? Yeah, I got to pay attention over there and see what's going on because it seems like every car we got a couple of those shipping up there.
Well, and that's that's what it takes here. That's what it takes to win. You get to the 6th. This is the second division of that earlier race, and I got a price. That horse at Dallas's on the outside, the Gun Runner, Tappett's Gunner. From this is a Mandy Pope homebred, and kind of has a license to run, right?
Done all the serious work up at Churchill, so I haven't seen that much of him, but yeah. Definitely has a license in here. It was interesting. So you got Brad bringing in another one from Payson, right? Who knows? Obviously, probably live coming in this spot. Interesting horse in here to me, Steve, is the 2 Throttle for Asmussen.
Yep. Been away since summer.
This horse has certainly trained way better than he's run. He's been training good here. This horse has worked good a few times. You can see it. It's right there. 35-4 out of the gate, 1:03 before that. That work on November 29th, they had a comment well in hand at 51-2, just nice and easy. I would expect some marked improvement from him in this spot. And then another interesting horse. Yeah, another interesting one, Steve. Reagan's Honor. Ortiz worked this horse the other day out of the gate on December 11th. And was, well in hand early. Wasn't asking him to do anything and finished up real nice and easy. But then Curtis is riding and Jose doesn't have a mount in this race. I don't know what that deal is, but I mean, he's shown a little in the mornings.
Well,
this race is kind of wide open to me.
Well, did you look at the breeding line on there?
What Brad's got. What's that?
On Reagan's Honor. This is a horse that David and Gordo bred with the late Jerry Moss.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I remember looking up the mare. The mare was okay, Rutiel.
Well, and then David went in and bought the horse for West Point.
Good to know. That's why people listen to you, Steve. You got all this info.
I also any chance to plug the Foley barn, we're going to do it. You got the sibling to troubleshooting and the other good trouble stake winner for Donnemeyer for the balls. Trouble calling.
Notably getting Lasix in this spot. Yep. He's got some experience, and his first 2 races were really good. Yep, definitely a shot in here. Absolutely. One of a few, I think, has a chance in here.
That gets us to the mile for the boys on the grass, and the 7th comes right before the Tenacious.
This is pain. Yeah, this is painful to talk about, Steve.
What'd you miss?
I really liked
Cruisin'
Chuck
Chuck
last time.
Yeah.
I really at 29-1. That was I'm surprised you didn't hear me yelling when they hit the wire. I don't know where. I don't care where you were. I yelled loud enough, and I can't repeat it on air. This is a big, long striding horse who came out of the gate green that day, did not have a trip, and just was lunging down the lane. And I think he is going to be a handful on Saturday, and maybe get Miss Vives her first win here. I don't think she's won at this meet, but I like this horse. This horse is really training good and was well meant the first time, and just a little bit green is going to definitely move forward off that race.
Nice.
So I'm swinging again with Chuck.
All right, that's Cruising Chuck.
If you haven't seen that race, go watch it. It's worth watching. I had him on top, and I'm trying to think who else I had in it. Oh, Ramblin' and Preps with the two I had underneath. Oh, and I got some info here. The 7's going to be scratched because Rippin' for Beckman worked this morning.
Very good.
So I guess he's going in another spot.
Well, and that gets Cherie potentially in with Shuggy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's one that'll have to be used. Absolutely.
Well,
I'll
and
note of that now.
Well, and as it happens, another Moss involvement here. Ann Moss bred this with Jerry and under the trust's name, and then that AHHA is the new Ann Moss's. She's got a couple of partners, and Cherie's got some, for them. Should mention that Asmussen with that Candy Ride, the Farish homebred, Sweet Retreat, that's a half to Yinzer, who's a bit of a ne'er-do-well, but was a horse that they always expected. A ne'er-do-well.
Help me out here from New Orleans.
A ne'er-do-well, N-E apostrophe E-R duel. A ne'er-do-well, a horse that, or in this case, my application is a horse that they expected better from. That that it took forever to break the maiden, remember, and sort of like.
Right, this is an appropriate movie quote. Check out the big brain on Brad.
You mentioned Prep. Here's Cherie again. This is a half to Koala Princess, the stake winner, and Cherie goes the extra mile for the Jacksons for sure.
That one's been working with Remember Mamba, or at least did a couple of times. It looked like he moved forward off that Churchill maiden race. I watched that one, but I'm hoping he runs second to Chuck on Saturday.
Frank Magoe with us, just a couple minutes to wrap up, and they'll be out on the track and again in a minute at Fairgrounds. The Tenacious and the Diliberto, some straight handicapping. Just a Touch is trying to reboot the career again Saturday.
Yeah, he's a specimen. And we're going to give out the Exercise Rider of the Year award in this race, Steve. That's a pretty interesting work pattern on him, isn't it? We got 349s on the money.
Yep.
I got to think there was more to those works than that. What do you think? If you had to bet, do you think he really won 49 3 times in a row?
It is a private training.
349 works.
Let's take into account that it is a private training center.
I get it. He's a specimen, this horse. I reckon in here, he's going to be tough to beat in this spot. I just think he's probably a little better than these. And I got a lot of respect for Not This Boy. The horse has been good to me. And he's a solid. I think he's the only one that could maybe, warm up just a touch. He's solid. And Theodora's horse will get a nice trip and has had a race over the track, but I think Just a Touch would be tough to beat in this spot.
Well, it's a quality bunch. That Corombino Omioid has made $750,000. You mentioned Not This Boy. I was surprised actually that to see 2-1 as the number. Sir Grayland is respectable, to say the least, for McPeak.
Yeah, he's been working good. Sir
Right?
Grayland's
He always runs his race.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, who is Sir Grayland working with? You know what? He's working with Rattle and Roll, who's in at Oakland this weekend.
There you go.
Those two
All right.
are working together.
Well, that gets us to the Buddy DiLiberto, and you're obviously an eye shot of Mikey.
Yeah, I came down to the third floor right now. He's upstairs on the fourth floor. Yeah, he'll be out with the whole family. That's a tradition to honor their dad. And it's a good race. And then you got the new, the way it looks to me like the way the race is going to set up, that Kapuna is going to wind up getting a great trip. Since, I don't know, Cassie, but, this horse had one grass race when Brett had Kapuna and was pretty good. And I, that race he ran last time was really impressive at Churchill. I think he's going to be tough. But I'll tell you this, Steve, Legalize is training really good, was training good going into that last race when she tried her on the turf. Now, that day there wasn't a ton of pace in the race. It was the day that Yinzer fouled him, got the best of him late. But, Legalize is doing great out that race. He's going to run good. I wouldn't sleep on him at 8-1 with Brian jumping on. And Gigante out on the outside. He's going to run his race, and he likes this track. Those are the three for me. And I think the two would probably be my top selection, Gigante second and Legalize third.
I'll throw in one horse. I won't argue with any of those. I'm looking at Figs, but Theismann. We were with John Sheriffs on Tuesday, and this is CRK, Lee Searing. Those last two races, right? They were steps forward. He's rock solid. Yeah. If he takes one more step forward, and he could be a real problem actually for Legalize, because Louis Saez
absolutely could,
right?
Yep. No doubt about it. Yeah, that's why Legalize would be third for me. But yeah, he would be the next horse for sure. And this is the first year. Erton's got a whole string here, and his horses have looked really good on the track. I think he's going to win some races here for sure. He's got some nice stock down here for sure.
Nice. This is his first starter of the meet. Frank, can't thank you enough as always.
Be a good day.
It's a terrific.
I can't thank you. Keep doing what you do. How's that
pleasure.
card? The Remington card? They put together a nice one. I'm gonna have to look at it.
The feature, the springboard is deep. You got a nice group, and Steve Asmussen filled the entry box. But there's a couple of good locals, Joe Ofolter and Danny Pish, and Maker, but the New York bred, that good New York bred that's 3 for 3. And then the rest of the card is the Oklahoma bred stakes. Dale Day is going to join us in about 25 minutes.
I'll dedicate one of the TVs to Remington. We'll watch that.
Boy. Well, it's night. It's a night card, though.
Oh, that's fine. I'll be playing Delta. We'll be busy. When you coming to town?
I think the usual. I think the Risen Star. Valentine's week. Yeah, Valentine's week, Risen Star. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not happy. I'm not happy with city administration. They're all out of the Pontalba. Not good.
Why is that?
They're remodeling the Pontalba. They're
remodeling.
Everybody has to, including the Love Nest, the mayor's Love Nest.
You're right. You like the room rates there too, right?
It's a pretty good deal. The Ben Bachik. I get the. I'm like
the. Cooked you up, huh?
I'm the third Bachik.
Right. All right, they're coming out. I got to run. Good luck, everybody.
The one and only Frank, merry and happy.
Same.
Frank McGoey, the best. Thank you, buddy. Frank McGoey, folks. So good. We've got, let's see, Jim Corns, if you would, Brian. All right. And we'll take Jim for a few minutes to the bottom of the hour. And then as we wait for Dale Day to join us, and we're going to do the same handicapping exercise with Double D, the Dale Day on your Twitter, the voice of Remington Park. Duke, we're going to slip Duke in after the break. Duke Matisse, and we will unabashedly. I knew Ben would be listening, and he he confirms I am always the third bay chick. I'm a bay chick and a boy chick. Duke Matisse will join us, and we unabashedly are going to flog for Duke's Christmas Day. It's a present to everyone. You get to unwrap Duke Matisse. Jim Corns.
Hey, Steve. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And you're one of the first ones I get to say that to. And obviously there's a few holidays coming up, so I'm really glad to say that to you. And happy holidays for all the listeners, too. It's been it's a busy time.
People say, it's so funny. People say all the time to, after Breeders' Cup, you get a chance to relax. No, no.
I said that to somebody yesterday on the phone. I said, oh man, it's easy. I figured I'd catch you at a good time after Breeders' Cup. I'm like, no, man, it's all happening right now, which is great. So, lots of racing action and good racing action too. So, and I'm sorry I'm not there with you at Remington Park because that was the plan.
You had hinted that you were coming maybe.
Yeah, Angela and I had planned to come out and kind of a mini vacation, busman's holiday, whatever you want to call it, and see my man C.R. Trout, who's got he had a nice winter last night with Let His Legacy on track, and C.R.'s a good old friend and fairly responsible for me meeting my wife, actually, or marrying my wife, I should say. So he's been like a father to me at times. So was going to hang out with him a little bit, but change of plans, and Angela had to go import some horses into Miami, so she's out at the cold for a few days.
Wow!
So I'll be watching Remington, and it seems like a nice card too that they're putting on, and finish strong, finishing the meet on Saturday night.
It is a little different too because they had traditionally it had been a Friday night, and so at first when I reached out to Dale. I said, I don't know if I can stay for all the way through. And then when I started looking flights, I said, how am I not going to stay? I mean,
yeah, you're that close, Steve. I mean, and the weather. Listen, the weather's good there this week. We're getting lucky.
It is,
and you're probably better off there than you are back home But I'm sure when you do get home, you'll have a nice holiday home for a little bit too. So.
Yeah, we'll do a show Monday. We'll do some recapping and set up the Santa Anita card at the end of the week, and then we'll vacation until after the first. Whatever that first. What's the first Monday? I haven't even looked. To be honest,
I don't want to look. It
I don't
keeps
even know.
coming
I know
together,
it's a blur. We'll be back. We're back January 5th, as it happens.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Oh, and as I look at the calendar. And she'll be on tomorrow because of the nice Laurel Stakes. Mark your calendar, January 3rd, Callie Francois' birthday.
Oh, there you go. And I got a bulletin too. You keep talking about. I'll take the omen here. You keep talking about Mike Stidham today.
Yeah.
A couple of times you met today's his birthday. According to that great fact-checking Facebook, according to me or to them, it's his birthday today. So great guy. Love Succeed. He's a good guy, and obviously with the Godolphin horses too. So happy birthday to him and Callie. If we don't get a chance to see her too. So.
We'll wish her publicly tomorrow, and when she joined, they've got those four. They got the Manfuso and the Politely and the Sandra. Oh my gosh, the husband and wife memorial. Four nice things. They got nice cards Saturday at Laurel.
Good.
I mean, the racing.
Good.
That's one of the things, Jim. That is just amazing. You would think, okay, year's winding down, but Gulfstream has picked up momentum. Tampa is rolling along. Fairground started in November, and Oaklawn after last week. There's just on almost a daily basis, you fold in these fields at Turfway, And
very
they're
true.
inviting. I mean, there's no shortage of interesting racing, and not according to the internet, but anybody that's taking an interest can find things to.
No, I think we
on.
all can agree that the cards have gotten so much better at Turfway, obviously with the money offered and earlier start at Oaklawn Fairgrounds. This in Tampa, these are the things that will get us through this into the winter months. And it's been great racing so far, and we've been lucky with the weather. So I'm happy for all the horsemen. And January 1st, you're going to be a 2-year-old owner, I guess, too. Everybody's birthday on January 1st.
Well, actually, our horses, so he'll turn 3.
Okay. Oh, that's right. You're patiently waiting. That's good. But now for everybody else, cake day on January 1st, and foals magically appear. So it's good.
You mean the ones that were hidden for 3 or 4 days?
I don't know anything about that, Steve. Every yeah, no. But listen, hey, it's Mother Nature intervenes. What Billy Mott used to say. There's other horsemen. We make plenty of horses, and God laughs. So it's been tough in a lot of spots, and for them, and it's getting to be a busy season. Of course, going into foaling.
Well, let's set up. What do we want to do for the Succeed Challenge this week?
Well, I have already got the giving spirit with the holiday spirit, and everybody can join on board. Obviously, you go to the website, succeed-equine.com, start a trial if you want one of the Succeed challenges yourself. It's a great gift idea, Stay tuned, there's more, But no, it is actually. It's for the horse or for your friend's horse, or it is actually a very useful gift. And a good gift idea there. But let's get the festive spirit a little bit for everybody. How about a daily double, Steve? Saturday night. You want to go for it? With
sure.
The 11th race. The 11th race, which is you spoke about this race, I think, yesterday, the Jeffrey Hawk Memorial. It's a little salty race.
Yeah,
at Remington, 1.70 miles, and we're going to do a Succeed challenge for the second place finisher in that, because I like to do that to kind of be that. I don't want to say consolation prize, but let them go home with something, and then let's do the Springboard Mile. I think there's a real deep division. We'll do back to back. It's a great wagering double. Help out Remington Park and help out the horsemen there. They've had a good season, and I think there's a really nice group of 2-year-olds here going a distance of the mile, and one of them's already proven. C.R. Trout's horse, Royal American, already proven at the distance over the track. He's. I'll be having a rooting interest for him, and of course David Cabrera, who's been riding very well there at Remington, going to finish out the year. The last race, the lucky last, the 12th at Remington Park on Saturday. We'll give away a Succeed challenge to the second place finisher there too.
Excellent, this has been a funny wrinkle giving to the second place finishers, because so many of them, they're invariably a little miffed that that they might have. That they might have won, and everybody that we've reached out to has been tickled to get a little something extra for running second.
Yeah, and the last winner that we had was at Turfway with Kelsey Danner, and I called her up and I said, Kelsey, hey, I won what? I ran second, and I'm like, no, listen, we're helping you out here. Help the horses, help the horsemen. But I know she's had a great season, and it really makes me feel good, and everybody at the company, we're all horse people, and it's nice to give away in all the different disciplines, help out the horse people, but also help the horses, and that's our main goal.
Jim Korn's with us from Succeed Challenge. I'll put up the QR code. You get a hold of Jim, you get a 75-day trial, And if you don't like what it does for the horse, you'll get your money back. I don't know how. I don't know how much more of a.
No, in this day and age, it's a great deal, and the
yeah.
horses benefit. The horses benefit. That's the key for their digestive conditioning program. Great way to start the year. Start the year off doing Succeed. You'll see a difference. If you don't, you'll get your money back. I'm sure you can go to the website or the QR code will help you out. But thank you, Steve, for all you do. Enjoy your time off, and really enjoy seeing you. And hopefully next after the first year, we'll keep it going with more Succeed challenges.
Absolute. And the one, I'll give a real short answer to this because we just started the music. Jim, when the weather gets cold, I've had this discussion over the years with Dr. Allday. When the feed program changes during cold weather.
Yes.
What's the what are the digestive needs? How does the change in from summer feed to winter warm feed? How does it help? Well,
that's where Succeed really helps to keep that iron gut, where all the absorption of the nutrients and all that, keep that in balance. So the more in balance your horse's digestive system is, the better they're going to get out of whatever feed they're eating. But yes, the demands go up a little higher. Again, it's a great source of biotin. So this time of year when you're struggling to get some hoof growth, I know one of the earlier guests talked about some quarter cracks. We're seeing a lot of that across the country. It's a great time to start on Succeed and helps, supplement that diet to get you through these times. And, that's, again, it's a great question because it definitely brings on a change in a lot due to the weather and their consumption and even in how you make the feed, whether you're adding water to it or not. It's a challenge every year at every level.
Well, and it pops in my head after the first of the year. I want you to talk about somebody that that worked on Shed Rows and also for legendary horsemen. I want you to talk about hot mash during the winter, particularly making up a hot mash for horses and some of that aspect, because it's and we haven't ever discussed it with you, so I'll be very curious.
Yeah, I'd love to do that, and I'll offer too, as you know, Paula Dorsey, who's our equine nutritionist on staff at
That's right.
Succeed.
That's
I'd
right.
love to get
a
conversation going and maybe field some questions, because it's an important change, and everybody has a different approach, but environmentally and weather has a big factor in feeding programs.
Jim Corns, everybody, and the Succeed Challenge, succeedequine.com and Succeed Equine on Twitter. And I'll put up the QR code. It's worth the investment. Helped our horse this year win 2 races. Jim, Merry Christmas to you and Ange, and we will talk in a couple of weeks, and I'll see you soon.
Sounds great, Steve. Happy holidays and happy and healthy New Year. Talk soon.
Thanks, Jim. Jim Corns, folks, and Succeed. We're going to get Dookie in here. Should work out perfectly. And then Dale Day is going to come through the doors. Suite 4 here at Remington. Second half at the races. Sirius XM. Dave Hill in a little bit as well. We'll do week 16 after Dave's 5-0 week. And Jeff Franklin, Crafty, who was sick last week. So we'll catch up with Jeff, too. Back after this.
It's At the Races with Steve Byk on Sirius XM Radio.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in hooks, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly and offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets. $200 deposit match with promo Steve200. Visit NairaBets.com for details.
Horses power Virginia's economy, creating over 38,000 good, fulfilling jobs every year. Think about the farmers, the farriers, the feeders, the athletes, trainers, drivers, and jockeys, caretakers and landscapers, investors and interns, veterinarians, restaurant owners, restaurant workers, tour guides, trail guides, equine therapists, and so many more. Now that's horsepower. Virginia's economy wins with horses.
Racing fans, what's the present you open the day after Christmas? The Great Race Place, of course. Santa Anita Park will open for live racing on Friday, December 26th. Along with world-class racing, we will have world-class events and promotions as well, like a wonderful craft beer festival opening weekend, December 26th through the 28th. We also will have great family entertainment opening weekend with our Winter Family Fun Zone in the infield. And of course, opening day brings a fan favorite giveaway, the Park wall calendar for all fans in attendance while supplies last. And don't forget our great guests like the Showviver contest beginning on the $1,500 opening day handicapping contest with a $5,000 bonus, and the Pick'em contest starting on December 27th. Opening day admission is $20, online for just $10, and first reward members pay just $5. Get all the details at santanita.com. Welcome back to the Great Race Place on opening day, Friday, December 26th.
The Pennsylvania breeding program is the best program in the country. The Stallion Awards, the owner bonuses, also the restricted races and the stakes races for Pennsylvania breds. This year, 8 breeders are on track to earn over $200,000 in breeders awards, and 2 could hit the $1 million mark. We have the best program in the country. Take advantage of the fantastic program that we have. Learn more at pabred.com.
Nothing compares to a horse. They inspire greatness, command respect. Because Virginia's horse industry isn't just racing and farming. It's built on the skills, labors, and passions of dedicated people working in every industry throughout our state. Horses fuel the economy, create jobs, support thousands of families, and even make dreams come true. Virginia's economy wins with horses. Find out more at virginiahorseracing.com.
Now, back to At the Races with Steve Byk on Sirius XM Radio.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the lane, snow is glistening, a beautiful sight. We're happy tonight, we're walking in a winter wonderland. And gone away is the bluebird, but here to stay, stay, stay is a new bird. He sings our love song as we go along. We're walking in a winter wonderland. In
Jason
the meadow,
Mraz, I think,
build
right?
a snowman and pretend that he is Parson Brown.
Right?
He'll say, "I am Mary."
That's what I thought.
Say, "No,
There we go.
man, but you can do the job when you're
Nice,
inside."
nice version. And here's a nice version of a Matisse. Duke.
Steve, what's going on? Merry Christmas.
I miss, I was in California for 6 days.
You don't
But
call?
you're down in, I didn't call. No, I didn't. But you guys are in Orange County, right?
Yeah, about a little over an hour from Santa Anita, depending on what day and what time you go.
Well, exactly. And in fact, I knock on wood, as busy as things seem to be around LA this past week, when I came in from Phoenix, from the Arizona, it took me almost 3 hours to get to Pasadena. And that's never happened. I mean, I hear the horror stories, and in fact, Hammer had a horror story himself a couple of mornings later. But that was the first time I really experienced the.
Yeah, this time of year in California, you don't want to leave home. You just gotta, you stay put because everybody's out shopping, and
That's a good point.
everybody's working, so you got to stay away. So stay away from especially on Fridays.
Well, I'm like a maniac anyway. I get one of the nice things about doing the show for Rita and from Los Al, I'm done at 9 o'clock in the morning. So
Right.
now I've got the rest of the day to go do whatever I want to do. And I, I love exploring LA. I actually, I haven't talked about this. I did something that I've always wanted to do. I picked one of the famous LA area cemeteries.
Oh, wow.
And went and I ended up finding markers, Duke, from people that weren't even listed. I went to Holy Cross Cemetery.
Okay.
And in literally, it wasn't even, it couldn't have even been a half acre. Maybe a little bit more than a half an acre. I came across, Bing Crosby actually was the first one that I saw, and he wasn't even listed as being interred at Holy Cross. I'm going to have to. I was debating putting up the pictures or not, but I think I'm going to have to now that I've brought it up. Let me just read through these because it was crazy. I look down and I see Harry Lillis, Bing Crosby, and I'm like, Harry Lillis, that's Bing Crosby, and I was like shocked. So Bing Crosby, Bela Lugosi is like one row over and 3 markers down from Bing. Kid Ory, who people may or may not know, is a jazz legend, and I was shocked that Kid Ory and his wife were buried in Los Angeles. I would have thought that they would have been in New Orleans. Just at the top of the hill in that section, Rita Hayworth, which was amazing. Jimmy Durante and his wife, Charles Boyer. The one person that kind of drew me to Holy Cross was John Candy, and he's up at the top. Yeah, and he's up at the top of the hill in the big. They've got a big, beautiful, with the crypts.
I just watched that. Did you watch that, John Candy?
No, I can't. I saw a clip, and I was a bubbling mess.
It's very good.
It's heartbreaking. Just
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I go to see Candy's, and he's on the 3rd deck of the wall, and right under him is Fred McMurray and June Haver.
Crazy.
I've
never been to that cemetery.
It's really beautiful, and I'll tell you what was really moving. Oh, Ricardo Montalban.
They're very well kept. And they're very well.
Oh God, yeah.
Very.
Yeah.
I even went to remember the champ there. I went to Jose Arias burial, and that was up in like in the Covina area, I believe. So yeah, they're very well kept around here. You don't even know they're there.
Well, what was amazing about this that I don't think I've ever seen it to the extent that it was at Holy Cross. Families decorating the section around the markers, and the markers are all flat. There's no stones. There's no upright stones. They're all like maybe 4 feet by 3 feet markers on the ground, and the decorating, the Christmas trees, and it really extensive all over Fire Cemetery. And I saw it was, I'm going to get upset even talking about it. I saw a father with 2 girls that had to be either at their mother's or their grandmother's, and they were having like a picnic, and they were putting little ornaments on a small tree. It's just amazing. It really this is how I spend my afternoons.
Yeah, that's a little bit sad there.
I know.
Maybe we can get a spot for William Reichman.
For who?
The Backler.
Oh my God! Yeah, of course. Of course. What? Nobody ever got back to me. Do we have Do we have a service? Any kind of
I think they're just going to do kind of a Saratoga memorial. I don't know anything about the service, but yeah, and I haven't talked to you about that. I heard you and Paul talk about it. And,
yeah.
He used to call me. Billy used to call me all the time. Like we always had like a weird conversation that would start out with if either of us called each other, the first thing that came out of the other person's mouth was "How are you?" because that was his favorite saying. And it depended on how are you was, because depending on his mood. If it was a very low "How are you?" like "How are you?" you knew something was wrong. So then we'd go through what's wrong with Billy, and we try to cheer him up. And I missed those calls because they would last like 40 minutes. He talked about the Yankees and the horses and everything under the sun and his health and blah blah blah. It was I miss it because he'd call me a couple times a week.
I had so many people. I had so many people, Duke, send texts or emails or like Facebook messaging, how much they appreciated Duke's Paul's Paul coming on and
yeah.
I mean, because everybody was just everybody was just shocked and
what a weird way for him to go out. That's not the way everybody thought he was gonna.
No.
We always kind of joke too on the phone, like by the third sentence he would say he'd either be hyped up or he'd either go it's over, it's over, get away. And I always try to cheer him up, or I'd just come back and say, yeah, it's over, Billy. So we had a weird conversation all the time, but I guess it's over in this life, but hopefully it's not over for him in the next one.
Well, the Battler, he would have appreciated. I'll probably put a post up later today. Went over to El Reno after the show yesterday to Sid's Diner, one of the three famous onion burger institutions here in El Reno. And actually, CJ Milkowski told me he says there's a phenomenal fried chicken joint in El Reno.
Oh, that'd be my spot.
You're a fried chicken guy?
Oh, yeah. Love it. It's good.
Well, the onion burger at Sid's, and it's funny. Usually, the son Adam Hall is behind the grill. His dad Marty was behind the grill, and as many times as I've been there, that's the first time I've seen Marty operating the spatula. And what a scene it was! Apparently, there was a busload of kids that were in from Enid that were I don't know if they were playing sports against El Reno High School. But which is right, the kids can walk from El Reno High School to any of the Roberts, Johnny's, or Sid's. Mm-hmm. But at Sid's at Christmas time, they do a candy cane milkshake. That is unbelievable. So I had the candy cane milkshake, the fresh cut fries, and a fabulous onion burger. It's so good, and all these smash burger joints, every place that's hawking a smash burger, it all came from here in the Depression in El Reno, Oklahoma. Is the origin of that burger that has swept the nation.
I'll have to get out there to Remington sometime. I was there about, I don't know how long ago. It was a really long time ago.
It's great here.
That'd be 25 years ago at least.
That's about the start, right? That's about when they were. I mean, it's got to be. Not much older than that.
I was bowling in Tulsa and somehow ended up at Remington Park.
Oh, you and I might have to compare some Tulsa notes. I used to go to Tulsa when I was working out of Kansas City for Procter & Gamble. And Tulsa was the southern tip of my my region, and I loved Tulsa.
So you're there for the big springboard?
The big springboard mile, the big send off the season Saturday. So, and of course, I came here from 2 nights, 2 days at Los Al, and then the 2 days at Santa Anita. We draw tomorrow, and Christmas Day, the Duke's present to horse players across the country, across the world.
Yeah, we're going to do my second live stream. I did the Breeders' Cup live stream. I'm going to do on Christmas Day. I'm going to do a Santa Anita live stream and talk about the races there and try to help the people out and help them take that Christmas money and turn it into a lot more. We've done okay. I've only been up like 2 months, and I got 10 to 15 guys that that are what we call VIPs, and this is dukespicks.com, by the way. We got some guys that have really, really done well, and I actually gave away 2 exactas last night at Turfway. One ice cold, another one pretty good. So things have been going really well for the guys that are on there. I'm doing doing a lot of different things. I teach them, how I'm trying to look at a race and how I approach it, and try to tell them some betting ideas. And I did my first lesson, which you can check out on there. It's a lesson on mindset, money management, and then ticket design. It's kind of an interesting 3-part series of a lesson that I put together with my son Carson, and I think people will really get something good out of it. I've had a lot of good feedback about it. So the site's going pretty good for just launching just before the Breeders' Cup.
Well, and Duke, the specific portion of this, I mean, the handicapping obviously is the